is the 27th day of March 2024. You're just in time for the insight here on Lookuptv on a day that Eacc has revealed the major causes of corruption here in the country. Before we jump straight to the bulletin, let's first of all have a look at what's making headlines. Tonight on the insight, greed of public officers, wanting quick services and poverty listed as the top 3 causes of corruption in the country. Eacc report now reveals. Government launches a rehab center in Mombasa in efforts to curb illicit brew and substance abuse. And at least 1,000 vehicles nabbed as NTSA launches a major crackdown across the country. Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Keitani, and our sign language interpreter is Justin Oko. Remember, you can watch this bulletin live on our Facebook and YouTube pages at Lookuptv. We kickstart our bulletin now, and a damning National Ethics Survey report by Eacc has revealed that greed of public officers, wanting quick services and poverty are the top 3 causes of corruption in the country. The report further reveals that the Ministry of Interior is the most corrupt ministry, as Mevin Gitembe now reports.
Speaking at the Eacc Integrity Center for National Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Eacc has revealed in 2023 National Ethics Survey that overall national average bribe was 11,625 shillings in 2023, indicating an increase compared to 6,865 shillings in 2022. Kenyans giving an average bribe of 11,625 shillings in 2023. According to the report, service seekers pay the largest amount of bribe, of which 163,260 shillings were for those seeking employment, 74,428 shillings for those applying for a passport. Those who are seeking police abstract came third, while those obtaining a tender solving land conflict came fifth. On average, service seekers pay their largest amount of bribe at the National Transport and Safety Authority, the Judiciary, and Kenya Bureau of Standards.
Don't give and don't ask. So, if you go for a service and somebody is asking you, don't do what? Don't give. If you are the one offering the service, don't ask. And when you are given or offered, don't do what? Don't take. If we do those 3 things.
Among top counties where bribery is highest as released by the National Ethics and Corruption Survey 2023, Busia led, Baringo, Nairobi, Nakuru and Machakos. According to the report, other counties where bribery was at lowest include Embu, Vihiga, Nyeri and Nandi. A new report dubbed the National Ethics and Corruption Survey 2023, Eacc said the amount was almost double the average bribe Kenyans gave in 2022.
Minister of Mining, is it corrupt or not? This guy has never even seen Tanzanite in his life. What do you expect him to answer? But that person, when he tells you the police, there's a problem. The immigration, there's a problem. That man has queued for many months.
Mevin Gitembe, Lookuptv.
That particular report, of course, puts a lot of questions in regards to the integrity of various state officers and various state corporations, with the Ministry of Interior ranked as the first, or rather the most corrupt ministry in the country. As of course, corruption remains a thorn in the flesh here in the country. Moving forward, Interior CS Professor Kithure Kindiki has presided over the launch of a rehabilitation center in Meritini, Mombasa County as a part of the government efforts to curb illicit brew and substance abuse. As Stanley Lugari now reports, the government seeks to partner with county governments to ensure all counties have a rehabilitation center offering affordable services.
Soon after a meeting with administration officers in Taita Taveta County to assess the situation and efforts made to contain illegal liquor, drugs and substance abuse, CS Kindiki took it to Mombasa accompanied by Nakada Chairman Reverend Stephen Mairori, CEO Dr. Anthony Omeriku among other officials to inspect and assess a project of approximately 1.3 billion shillings serving as a rehabilitation center for alcohol, drugs and substance addicts, assuring the government commitment in enhancing surveillance and marine patrol at the Indian Ocean to contain the chronic drug and substance abuse importation into the country through ships docking.
Iritini Drug Treatment and Rehabilitation Center, which is a flagship project of the Ministry of Interior through NACADA. Here in Mombasa, I want to commend the County Commissioner and the security team here. I think the effort has been quite commendable. We have been able to seize quite a number of substances, including illicit brews, in various measurements. I don't have time to go through the records. The County Commissioner can share with you the statistics a little later. We have also...
While in Kilifi, Kindiki held that the government through the ministry is leading the war against land theft, illegal encroachment of private and public lands, illegal sex, the sale and use of illicit liquor, drugs, substance abuse and the questionable transitioning system of those joining secondary schools in Kilifi County and other parts.
The fight against alcoholism, against narcotic drugs and substance abuse. Please take that war seriously. It's going to be a permanent war until we rid our country from the dangers of drugs and substance abuse.
Earlier on Wednesday, Kindiki also inspected the construction of the headquarters of the Public Service Center, which will cost 50 million shillings to be shared between the ministry and the Office of Kinango Constituency Development Fund, which will serve as a home for the county security and administration officers and a center registration for those seeking crucial government certificates and documents.
Residents of this place will be able to get services here and not travel far, because Kinango constituency is a very, very large constituency, and that was the basis of splitting the Kinango into 2 sub-counties.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
On to matters, transport and road safety, and more than 1,000 vehicles were today impounded in an ongoing crackdown along Mombasa Road in efforts to curb alarming cases of road carnages. The crackdown comes as a part of new reforms instituted by Transport CS Kipchumba Murkomen and his interior counterpart Kithure Kindiki following a spike in road cases.
With alarming cases of deadly road accidents, 1,000 vehicles were today nabbed in a countrywide crackdown launched by the National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA) in conjunction with officers from the National Police Service (NPS). As embattled drivers are said to be arraigned in court.
We started this exercise in February as a continuous joint engagement to support the National Police Service, to provide technical support and also support for data retrieval to ensure that safe roads are there. Earlier today, we had an engagement with the Deputy Inspector General to discuss the same matters. And as stated by my counterpart, that it is not a one-time event, it is continuous, will be effective. We are nationwide.
We have managed to crack down many vehicles, totaling to around 1,000. And the operation is still going on. We want to sanitize our roads, and we know that it is high time we must value life.
According to NTSA Director General George Njau, the crackdown seeks to target rogue drivers, drunkards and those overspeeding in a bid to reduce road carnage. Those arrested will be arraigned in court to face legal actions.
Speed is a very major concern to us. Lane indiscipline, overlapping, drunken driving as related earlier on by my counterpart, and roadworthiness of some of our vehicles, and more importantly, just reckless driving by our drivers from point A to point B.
According to the accident statistics from NTSA, pedestrians also account for the higher fatalities alongside motorcycle riders and passengers as well as public service vehicle passengers.
Gari yoyote ambao tunapata na makosa tunashika. Na wale dereva ambao tumashika wakiwa walevi ni kwamba tumesema na wale wa makosa ingine yote lazima wafikishwe kotini.
The crackdown comes in as part of the new reforms instituted in the sector by the Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen and his interior counterpart Kithure Kindiki following a spike in the rise in cases of accidents in the country. John Matava from Machakos County, Lookuptv.
Thank you very much, John Matava. I don't know if, he was thinking about crossing over to Makueni where he comes from, but moving forward, the government has announced it will cater for the travel arrangements for the victims of Shaka Hola for families experiencing financial difficulties. In the same breath, the Kilifi County government has waived all mortuary expenses accrued while the bodies were preserved. This comes as the principal suspect, Paul Mackenzie, refused to allow the hearing of his case until his lawyer is present in court.
Security Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki arrived in the coastal region for a security visit, making stopovers in Taita Taveta and Kilifi counties, among other areas. While in Kilifi, CS Kindiki has revealed the national government will shoulder the transportation costs of the bodies of the victims of the Shaka Hola massacre to help families from poor backgrounds bury their loved ones.
Tutalipa ile bili iko ya stima kama serikali kuu, na vilevile familia ambazo hazina uwezo wa kusafirisha wapendwa wao nyumbani, Wizara ya Usalama wa Taifa itagharamia mpango huo.
Additionally, Kilifi County has waived all the mortuary expenses for the victims who have been lying in the mortuary for over a year.
Nashukuru serikali ya kaunti ya Kilifi imetusaidia kwa njia kubwa. Mili hiyo imewekwa hapo mwaka mzima na serikali ya kaunti haijalipisha pesa yoyote, na tunawashukuru.
To preserve the memories of the over 400 individuals who lost their lives in the unfortunate incident, the national government will set aside a section of the Shaka Hola ranch to act as a memorial site.
Hali pale serikali itachukua kwa sheria ambayo ni ya lazima, ili wenzetu ambao wameaga dunia na labda hawajatambuliwa ama wapendwa wao wangetaka wapumzishwe pale, tutaenda pale tufanye ukumbusho, na hapo pia tuwalaze pale, na majina ya waathiriwa wote tuweke pale, ile iwe ukumbusho mahali tutakuwa tunaenda.
As families continue to pick their loved ones for burial, the controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie will remain in custody. The Malindi Law Court was forced to postpone the hearing of his case and several of his accomplices after the lawyer representing them failed to show up for medical reasons.
Kuendelea bila wakili wa washtakiwa leo itakuwa ni kuhujumu haki za washtakiwa hawa, manake katiba inahitaji kesi kama hizi washtakiwa wawakilishwe. Na kwa sababu wakili huyu ni afisa wa koti hii ama an officer of the court, koti kwa leo itakubali kuahirisha kesi ili kumpatia nafasi aweze kufika kotini siku nyingine.
Tende Anyula, Lookuptv.
Talking matters education now, and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has urged the Ministry of Education and the Teachers Service Commission to form a dedicated technical team responsible for implementing the recommendations outlined in the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms. Addressing officials from both entities during the gathering at his official residence in Karen, Nairobi, Gachagua emphasized the importance of collaborative efforts, highlighting that reforms pursued independently by the two agencies can hinder progress.
The purpose of this meeting is for me to establish a technical team to harmonize the various views from the TSC and the Ministry of Education and have a common stand on the implementation of the recommendations. We don't want a parallel effort because it will not help the process. We cannot work at cross purpose. We cannot work differently because we are one country, we are one government, we are one people, and all this is to the benefit of our children and the benefit of the stakeholders of the educational system. So that we establish a technical committee to sit down and bring order and sanity in the approach of the process, so that we don't work separately, because that will not help us. The educational sector is so important to our administration and to the country. That is why we have appropriated 27% of the national budget to the educational sector. And the importance of learning on our children and the sensitivity around the school space. We cannot afford to get it wrong. There is beauty in harmony. There is success when people work together. It helps a lot when we all pull in the same direction. People may have divergent opinions, but there should be a forum where all those divergent opinions are brought together, harmonized, and then we get a common good. So muendelee, mutakubaliana, si ndio? Yes. Asanteni.
Well, that particular story takes us to First Breather. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.
Come, let us show you place spot to build your dream home in Baraka Gardens, situated just 5.4 kilometers from Blue Post Junction along the Thika Gatura Road. Place finest with secure gated community, Majina Stima Eco on-site, Usitans na stories za title deeds ziko ready. Plus, flexible payment plans and financing options. Pay 30% and clear the rest in installments. Get in touch, twende site visit. For more information, contact 0794 333 222 or 0722 668 700 or visit our website www.mahasibuhousing.co.ke. Experience the beauty of Baraka Gardens today. University of Nairobi is a distinguished institution of higher learning dedicated to nurturing your intellectual curiosity and pushing the boundaries of knowledge. From state-of-the-art laboratories to modern libraries equipped with the latest resources, we provide you with the tools you need to succeed. Choose from a wide range of programs designed to prepare you for challenges of tomorrow's world. Whether in STEM, humanities, business, or the arts, our strong industry connections and career service support will help you translate your education into meaningful career opportunities upon graduation. Join a vibrant community of scholars from around the world, fostering cultural exchange, collaboration, and lifelong friendships. Book your space now for September intakes. Log in to https://www.uonbi.ac.ke for a wide range of courses to choose from. You can also contact +254 020 491 0000 or email us at pr@ounbi.ac.ke.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We continue with the bulletin, but on a sad note now, and grief has engulfed Chui village in Murang'a County after two men were brutally hacked to death by a known individual. Witnesses now say the two were involved in an altercation with a third person at a local joint before their gruesome death. Residents have called on authorities to speed up investigations and arrest the suspect, who is a former convict.
It is a tragic and a terrible event as families who lost their loved ones are crying for justice. According to the residents, the suspect had been jailed for 7 years after killing 2 people, and he had just been released from jail, making the residents to accept him back in the community, thinking that he had reformed, only for him to kill more people, calling on the government to intervene and bring the perpetrator to book.
Mtu alikuwa ametenda kitendo kingine na akaua watu wengine wawili na akaenda jela. Na hakuwa amekaa sana hapa, tangu atoke jela amekaa tu miaka 2 na tulikuwa tumeona kama amechange. Tunahofia maisha yetu hata sisi. Tunaomba serikali kuja haraka ituondolee huyu mtu hapa.
At Stanley Kamau's home, the situation was similar. where his mother Lilian Muthoni wailed and cursed the perpetrator for the heinous act. His father Irungu Maina also narrated the entire story, remembering how his son's head had been cut and his body left lying on the road near Chui police station that was constructed in 2016 but has never received a single police officer.
Amekatwa vile uwezi kujua ni nani. Kichwa yote na hapa unaona kichwa huko.
At Bennett's home, his elder brother Stephen Maina, who was very sad, indicated saying their parents had died long time ago and the only person he was sharing his problem with was his late brother, while his wife Nancy Nyandira narrating that the suspect and the two men who were murdered had issues with each other.
Huzuni mwingi bila huyu ndugu yangu ndiye tulikuwa tunasaidiana kimawazo na mambo ya kupelekana na familia zetu. Sasa ameenda na ningeomba serikali ifanye juu chini huyu mtu angalau aondolewe.
Shamila Baraza, Lookuptv.
Thank you very much, Shamila Baraza. On to matters agriculture now, and farmers in Murindiko, Kirinyaga County have called on the government to investigate the fake subsidized fertilizer, as many have run into losses after purchasing it. As Faith Charles now reports, the farmers have called out NCPB depot in the region for swindling them.
Days after the Kenya Bureau of Standard exposed fake subsidies fertilizers, farmers across the country continue to complain about the heavy losses they have made. In Mugumba, Siuru area, Kirinyaga County, angry farmers who fell victim to the fake fertilizers now claim that the fertilizers got waste manure.
Hii fertilizer tulinunua tukakuta iko na ile dropping ya mavi ya mbuzi. Alafu kunuka inanuka mavi ya mbuzi. Gunia ndani unakuta haina ile lining ya karatasi ya nylon ile inazuiaga fertilizer ili isishikwe na maji ama isiharibike. So kukuja nyumbani tumekuta fertilizer iko na mavi ya mbuzi, inanuka mbuzi, iko na mpaka manyoya ya mbuzi.
Tumepigwa na mshangao kwa sababu kile tumepata sio kile tulitarajia. Tunakuta fertilizer ile iko mbele yetu sasa na mumeona magunia. Fertilizer yenyewe iko na mchanganyiko wa mbolea ya mbuzi ambayo kama ndio tungetaka kununua labda tungeipata kwa majirani zetu, lakini hatukufanya hivyo kwa sababu tulikuwa tuna trust serikali itatuletea kitu ambacho kimedhibitishwa, kimepimwa na kimepitishwa na KEBS.
Some of the farmers painfully narrate the challenges they went through to purchase fertilizers, some going to the extent of selling their property to acquire large amounts of fertilizers. They're now calling on the government to quickly address the matter and give them reprieve.
Kwa nini ukiwa serikali yetu itufanyie mambo kama haya? Tunakuuliza tafadhali tusaidie. Kama utatuambia utatuma wa agriculture hapa watuambie hii itatusaidia, tutaridhika na hayo.
Hii fertilizer tunaitoa kwa makumbi ya serikali. Kumaanisha kabla ingia kwa hizo stores za serikali lazima kungekuwa na mtu wa kudhibitisha hii fertilizer ni fertilizer halali, fertilizer mzuri, fertilizer yenye inafaa. Si tukiangalia kwa TV tunaona tu hadithi. Hatukuwa tunajua kama tunaweza jipata hapo sisi wenyewe.
Charles, Lookuptv.
Now, hundreds of mourners today gathered in Ola Kirikirai, Narok County, for the burial of famed journalist Rita Tinina. She has been praised as a seasoned journalist whose legacy will linger on for generations. Ebi Kadenyi now reports.
The curtains finally closed on the life well lived of famed journalist Rita Tinina. Hundreds gathered at a home in Ola Kirikirai in Narok, with guests ranging from political leaders, family, friends and fellow members of the Fourth Estate, all gathered here to pay their last respects.
Devotion and love will forever be cherished and remembered. Rita was a woman of substance, a woman of integrity, and a woman of indomitable spirit.
At 46 years, journalist Rita Tinina has left behind a rich legacy with a wealth of knowledge in the media world as a senior reporter with a keen interest in human-centered stories. She is also celebrated for her great contribution as a news producer and news editor. Tinina started her career at Citizen TV in 1999 and later joined NTV, then KTN News, and then back to NTV until her demise.
And you've seen for a week now the series that I've been running of Rita.
and you can see that indeed she was a professional journalist. And I usually say that as a journalist, you are as good as the brand that you've built, and that is the brand that Rita had built as a professional journalist.
Her good work and kind heart brought her many praises from her friends, colleagues and every journalist, as everyone termed her as a mentor to young journalists, a team player, a beacon of integrity and grace, a good mother, and all in all, a good partner.
Licha ya kuwa kwamba alikuwa na tajiriba kubwa, Rita hakuwa na majivuno. Rita alikuwa ni mtu wa kupenda kila mtu bila kudharau mtu yoyote. Najua wakati mwingine inafika mahali tunataka kuuliza Mungu kwa nini? Mbona akamchukua Rita? Mbona akamchukua Rita kutoka kwetu? Lakini tunasema kwamba kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. Ni ile tu tutamuombea Mungu ailaze roho yake mahala pema, tuseme kwamba tumwachilie.
Mungu Mwenyezi amependa kumuita kwake. Today tuna rafiki yetu Rita toka uzima huu. Tunaweka mwili wake udongoni, urudie ulikotoka.
Eacc, Lookuptv.
May Tinina rest in peace, and may the perpetual light shine upon her. Crossing over to Kajiado County, and police officers in Kitengela are investigating an incident where a middle-aged man is alleged to have committed suicide by burning himself beyond recognition at his Chuna estate home. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 6 a.m. in the morning, as Martin Mashari now reports.
In a shocking incident that unfolded at Chuna Estate in Kitengela, Kajiado County, police are probing the alleged suicide of a middle-aged man who reportedly set himself on fire at his modern bungalow home. The distressing event occurred at approximately 6 a.m., catching the attention of the neighbors as billowing smoke engulfed the premises.
Around 6:30 nilikuwa naendea customer hapo main stage. On my right ndo nikaona moshi kubwa huku. Kwa njia pia nikapatana na mazima moto. So ndo nimesikia habari kuna mtu maybe commit suicide.
According to reports, the man ignited the blaze while the house help was inside conducting her routine chores. Fortunately, neither the man's wife nor their children were present at the time of the incident. Neighbors devastated by the unfolding tragedy rushed to the scene, contained the flames which had already engulfed a significant portion of the house before the timely arrival of the Kitengela Fire Brigade. Despite their efforts, the structure suffered substantial damage due to the rapidly spreading fire.
6 in the morning, I saw a big smoke coming from this side. When reaching, I found 3 G4S officers near the gate. I've heard that the person has burnt beyond recognition.
Na nasikia mwenye alikuwa hapo ndani ameshakufa, ila sijamuona.
The motive behind the alleged suicide remains elusive, leaving authorities to launch a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the tragic event. As inquiries continue, the remains of the deceased have been transported to a private mortuary. Martin Masharia, Lookuptv.
Let's get sporty now. An M-Pesa Global International Money Transfer has sponsored M-Sport Ford driver Adrian Fumox with 20 million shillings for the WRC Safari Rally Championship starting tomorrow. This sponsorship will allow the brand to be displayed on the driver's car and kit for the rest of the year. Fumox will be navigated by Alexander Corio in the championship that will kick off from the 28th to 31st of March 2024. Football Kenya Federation, in partnership with the Confederation of African Football, has conducted CAF coaching courses. The courses saw former and current players transitioning to coaching, with 6 active and non-active football players embarking on their CAF D licensing journey. The exercise, which was held in Buruburu, included former Harambee Stars player Matthew Otomax, Wycliffe Kasar, David Ochieng, among others.
Kucheza ball na kucoach ni vitu different. Saa zingine unaweza patia coach hard time na kumbe a lot of different things because understanding of the game tena ukiwa in the coaching department is different sana na ukiwa on the ground. So ni vitu nimeanza kulana na ni siku mbili nimepata vitu kadhaa.
Shule kuna universities, kuna colleges wako na opportunities because all these areas kuna coaches, and then kuna academies that are coming. There are so many academies right now. Na for our football to move forward, these grassroots children, wale wadogo, we need to mentor them, we need to build them, na tuna need kuwa develop na kuwa grow. We need the next Olungas, we need the next Wanangamas. Right now hatuna mchezaji anacheza IPL, but I can tell you for the next 10, 15 years, with the classes and the coaches and whatever we are learning and the caliber of the players that we have from the grassroots, then I'm telling you Kenya is heading the right direction.
Nafanya saizi. For us to grow as a footballing nation, lazima turuduko chini tukocha watoto wadogo, because unapata kule nje wanakuwa handled na watu wajapitia kwa wajafanya courses kama hizi. Federation imekuwa inatupatia ma opportunities za at least kwa class. For footballers wale wanasema wamekuwa tu wakiadil about. Mimi mwenyewe kuniona hapa, mimi sikuambiwa na mtu ati kuna coaching course. Nilikaa peke yangu hivi na nikasema I need to do something. Ile ya kwanza tuliharmonize.
Indeed, like they say, in the next 15 years or so, we should be having players in the English Premier League. And of course, I'd, bet my money on Amos Onjala and Aldrin Kibet to be in the English Premier League in the next few years. But on that note, we wrap up this particular bulletin. Many thanks for joining us. And if at all, you'll be heading to Naivasha for the WRC, it being Easter weekend, be safe out there. Thank you very much. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. And like always, God bless.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893